You hear that? God, those motors sound good. Wow. And it's still pushing. Sleep. Yeah, I know that camera felt that. I hope the camera's all right. Yeah, it looks all right. For the front and rear brake, we have 180mm discs, dual piston, hydraulic DY Island branded brakes. For the front suspension, we have 100mm of travel, and it is adjustable, and you are able to actually lock it out. And then on the other side, we have preload adjustment. For the motors, we have 2,000 watts in the front and rear, peaks at 2,500. So the controller on this is 60 volts. That's powering that beast of a battery, 1,920 watt hours at 32 amp hours. With that charger, it's a 2.5 amp, so roughly 12 to 13 hours from completely dead to 100%. Chow Yang branded tires at 24x4. In order to turn this on, we put the key in, hold down the power button, and there you go. Lots of information on the screen. So as soon as you turn it on, you have a single motor in the rear, double tap it, turns the front motor on. So we're gonna test out the speed real quick with no weight on it, just the rear motor. Seven-speed gear set, Shimano Tourney TZ derailleur with a derailleur guard. Something we need to see a whole lot more of, double wall front sprocket to kind of keep that chain from popping off on you. Now your headlight. The rear brake light does not have indicators, although it does look like it does. However, it does have a running light and then a brake light. The grips do have a palm rest. They're not super squishy. They are a little bit hard, and you do have a half twist throttle. Keep in mind, you do need to have this key in order to turn this bike on, because once you turn that key, that display turns off. So to turn on this bike, super easy. We're just gonna flip that little key there, and then you'll see the display does not turn on. We'll hold down the power button. 60 volts. Now, as we move this, and as we go, you might see that go down. That's because the amp drain. You'll see on the bottom there, we have a single wheel lit up, and then to turn that front wheel on, we're just gonna double tap that. But you cannot turn on just the front. You could do just the rear of both the front and the rear. All right, so comfortability off the jump, that feels good. And that screen is gonna be very difficult for you to see. And pedal assist 1, it's like we're doing 11 miles. We should probably double tap to put that power on, right? Because you're gonna use both of those motors. So 11 miles per hour. Holy shit, that took off. Wow, was not expecting that. And this is in fact a cadence sensor, so you don't have to put a lot of effort in to get it going. Comfortability, we have a lot of leaning on our wrist here. Important to note. 17 miles per hour, testing these brakes. Okay, the brakes could be a little bit better. We'll bed them in properly. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yo. Okay, so there is absolutely zero delay in this. Once you hit, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, man. Let me show you something again. So we're gonna put this down to pedal assist 1. I just want you to get an idea of how quick this picks up. Start pedaling, boom. It's like immediate speed. Watch this. 2. It's like max speed right now. 3. Yo, that response time is insane. 4. All right, we're just gonna do, oh my goodness. Wow, that feels good, man. 5. Oh, here we go. Wow, 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 wow. And it's still pushing. Okay, I am so impressed, and I'll explain why. We'll go over why I'm impressed with this. Let's test these brakes at these speeds. See how long it takes to stop. And stopping. Okay. Wow. Okay, I got a massive smile on my face. Hopefully the camera. Okay. Wow. So we're gonna do from a 0 start, all throttle. Oh God, 5 speed, here we go. Okay, not crazy. Okay, not super crazy. There it is, right there.
So once it gets going to that 20-mile-per-hour marker, it's just like everything right now. This is the second bike I've done a review on that's 60 volt, and you could tell the difference, man, between a 48, 52, and 60. You could really tell the difference. The 60 volt, grumpy people, man, I don't know what it is. The 60 volt, it just feels like there's the power. There it is, right there. It feels like I'm on a motorcycle, maybe a 125 or 250. Oh God, the comfortability of the seat is great too. Great bike, man. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, I am trying. Wow. You hear that? Woo! Sorry, I'm having way too much fun on this bike right now. The cruise control on this, you're supposed to hold down and throttle at the same time. However, I cannot get it to activate. Nothing. People always in the comments saying, man, you got to test the speed on this, but do it in an area where there's no people, no cars. Okay, I don't know where you want me to go to test it. So we're going to test it on this kind of straightaway. Hopefully we're able to get those. My God, do not hit that throttle in the turn like that. That front wheel, oh man, you could feel that power. What do they say, 105 Newton meters? I believe it. All right, here we go, ready? Let's go. Oh, we're in 5, yep, let's go. Just be advised when you're riding this and you have the front motor on, going into a turn and giving it full throttle, it's a lot of power, man. Like you can feel the type of power this is putting out. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you it's got a lot of it. Okay, so the discs on this, let's bring this down to 3. So we have 180 millimeter discs on the front, 180 millimeter discs on the rear. Dual piston, DIY island. And again, I'll give you another test on these brakes, but we're going 30 miles per hour, which is what probably most people that get this, no, I feel like most people get this bike are gonna do its max power. But we're gonna test this again. We're gonna do just front brake. We're gonna white knuckle it. Here we go. Good. We're gonna be going off-road and testing the suspension out here very shortly, but on the front suspension, it is adjustable in a sense that you can open it up and lock it out. I do not see a compression, but I do see a preload over here, so that's good. I would have liked to see compression on it, but I feel like for what this bike is, the price of it, it is more than adequate for what you're getting. The rear suspension on this, 4-point linkage and air suspension, so you are able to tighten that up, loosen it up, so that's nice. And that's something that a lot of companies do not think about, and they just give you like a shitty spring. Here, they're giving you air, so that's beautiful. So let's talk about the motors. 2,000 watts on each individual motor. Peaks at 5,000. Okay, let me be more clear. 2,500 watts is what it peaks at. They don't peak at 5,000 individually. That is a turkey? Okay, yeah, that is I don't know, that is a weird looking turkey. So suspension's good. Kind of see that suspension working there. Off-road, no issues. Right, feels good. Feels real good. Oh yeah, oh. Test suspension now, Jay. Suspension feels solid. Very big, grippy tires, 26.4. I do apologize for all the jiggling. I got a lot going on here. Now the battery on this is 1,920 watt hours. What? Yo, okay. Yeah, and you notice that, especially at 32 amp hours. Charger is 2.5 hours. So roughly from completely dead to 100% is gonna be 12, 13 hours, roughly. Yo, that front wheel, my God, does that thing got some power. I cannot stress this enough. When running single motor, no problem. You put that dual motor on, careful, man, when you hit that throttle turning. That thing has got some power, man. And then here we go right to a dead end. That's it. It just gave up. It said no more sidewalk. Nope, nobody goes down here. Now let's talk about the range. 50 to 100 miles. Do I think you're gonna get it with this bike? Now, if you're doing what I'm doing with this throttle, absolutely not. No, I don't even think you're gonna get 50 miles. You are asking that battery to give you all 30 of those amps at all 2,500 watt peak, go. Right, like you don't expect 50 miles at this speed. What I would suggest is if you want 50 miles or 100 miles with this, put this in pedal assist 1 and do nothing. Because if you put this all the way down, right, you're gonna use the least amount of power, right? And it's still a little bit torquey, man. Like when you put those pedals, it's not a gradual amount of power. It's pretty torquey. So if I'm sitting here riding this in pedal assist 1, where I'm giving it a little bit of effort of me pedaling, yeah, you're gonna get 100 miles. So I always tell people, take the lowest amount and then cut that in half. That's the least you're gonna get, right? The least you're gonna get is 25 miles. The most, I'd say with the throttle, dual motor, fully charged, if you're using only throttle, 40 miles. Right? I'm at 6 miles here and we haven't even really put a dent in that. So, shit, you saw that, right? Like, let me show that again. Just show you this power. So we're doing throttle, right? Watch this, ready? Watch. It's just go. When you have power like this, in this kind of format, the weight of the bike is not gonna be light. 102 pounds. Honestly, I'm not too surprised at that. I'm really not. I was expecting 120, 130 pounds because I'm gonna give you an argument for this bike and it's gonna be the Anioki A9, which I absolutely love. But if I didn't have the money to spend on the Anioki, which by the way is like 4 grand, 3,700, I would recommend this. It's definitely lighter, right? It has equal amounts of power. The battery is a little bit smaller, but not many people have $3,700 to spend on a bike. Max load on this bike is 330 pounds. And it's like it's hard for me to even do the review while I'm going down this sidewalk irresponsibly at 40 miles per hour, right? Not recommended. I know I'm being a bad example. Let me set it straight. Let me do what regular bicycle people do. I would ride this on the highway, honestly. So essentially the bike is Bumblebee, $1,600. Now, if you're looking at other bikes that are comparable, 60 volts, honestly, oh shit. Yeah, I know that camera felt that. Hopefully that took that good. Something got loose. So other 60 volt bikes, honestly, I can't tell you. I am 100% sure I could even think any. Wired, that's the only one. $2,000. Anioki, 52 volt, does this speed, but it's heavy. So for this to be $1,600, I 100% recommend this bike over the Wired and over the Anioki. I know, that's bold. I get it, it is. But the only downside of having this bike is the position, right? I hope the camera's all right. Yeah, it looks all right. Just got banged up a little bit. The only downside of this bike is the position of it. You are more in a front-leaning rest, like you're doing push-ups. Who's in the military or ex-military? That's what it feels like. It just feels like you have a lot of weight on your wrists. And again, that's not really much of a problem if you're not pedaling and you're just kind of using the throttle because you're gonna relax on that. All right, let's cross the road here. Boop, boop. I hate the shit of that 360 camera on that fence. We're gonna go like this. Because you want me on the highway, right? See, that's what happens. You want me to go on the road. I don't know, I'm guessing that's 40 miles per hour, roughly. I don't know where that cop wants me to go. He's probably gonna turn around and pull me over. I can't really go anywhere else. All right, so let me give you my overall opinion. As stated, I can't think of any other 60 volt batteries or 60 volt system e-bikes. The only one I could think of is Wired, and honestly, I feel like this is a better deal. I love Wired, I do. But this is like $500 cheaper. And I feel like it handles better. I don't know, maybe it's the suspension. again, that's not taken away from if you have that bike. It's just if you're debating, you know, what's the best bike that I could get that's going to give me the most amount of speed, this at the price point. We could talk about $2,000 bikes all day, but this is a fantastic bike. It is absolutely fantastic. It rides well. You can see we've put in, just on this ride alone, 10 miles on it, all throttle. It's just a really good bike for what it is. It feels good, sturdy, strong. I like the camo, I like the step through. They do make a step over version. Now, if you're gonna purchase this, I ask that you use the link, just because, well, I get a cut of that, and that just goes in my pocket. It doesn't help future content of this, that helps lines my pocket. But you know what, I get a cut, you get a discount code, we all win, right? If not, you know, move on, there's another video. Should pop up in the corner. There's also a website in the description down below that's gonna show you all the other bikes that I've done reviews on and allow you to do direct comparisons with only bikes that I've done reviews on. So, and I can tell you, this is by far one of the top 3, argumentably top 2 bikes I've ever ridden. Fantastic job, good job, Philodo.